Hello friends, let's talk some Disney stuff. Real quick here guys, if you're enjoying these tips and tricks that we're showing you around Disney World, consider subscribing down below, give us a like, really helps our channel out a lot, we really appreciate it. Continuing our talk on Disney stuff, because it's getting close guys. I think we have 35 days, 35 days. Jess is getting pretty excited. I wanted to keep it fun today. Let's talk about the theme parks. Everybody has their favorite ride at Disney World, whether it's at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, or Hollywood Studios. The one thing that I recommend, if you want to make sure to have a chance to ride that ride, get there early. Times change, park times change pretty frequent down at Disney World, so you want to stay on top of the times that they open. And if you want to ride one of the bigger rides that's always busy, I recommend getting there right as they open, maybe a little bit before. Get in the line to where they do like a rope drop when they open up the park to the masses, and just kind of walk fast to what ride you want to ride. Let's take for instance Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, as of recent, has been like an 85 to 100 minute wait. And from what I've seen, that's usually about the middle of the day. But if you want to ride something like that, I recommend going straight to that ride as soon as they open. Give you my pick of the park. Okay, so that one would be Magic Kingdom's. If it was Animal Kingdom and you want to ride Flight of Passage, which is in the Pandora Land, Avatar Land, Pandora. If you want to ride Flight of Passage, that's the one that I would recommend just deadheading to as soon as Animal Kingdom opens, because that line can get really long. That can get to 2.5 hours, maybe longer, depending on the crowds. And it doesn't look like Disney's having any kind of restrictions on capacity right now. They look like they're fully open at full capacity, which is good. You know, we like to see the people. Me and Jess just love going to Disney World. Next pick with Hollywood Studios, I feel like Rise of the Resistance would be the one, but that is something that has a virtual queue, and you have to get into that queue line at they do one at 7 in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you have to be on the My Experience app to be able to get that sell out every day within seconds. But so we won't count that one, because it isn't going to matter whether you're there at rope drop or not. If you don't have a reservation for Rise of the Resistance, you're not going to be able to ride it anyway. So there's a couple at Hollywood Studios that I would recommend. If you want to ride Tower of Terror, Tower of Terror never gets too long, but as of recent I have seen that the line has been at about 60 to 80 minutes. So, you know, if that's one it's quick to get to too. So if you're right at the front of the park, when they open, you can walk right over to either Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster or Tower of Terror. And those are pretty quick to get to. Now, if you're wanting to ride like Millennium Falcon or something like that, Millennium Falcon's line moves kind of quick, so I don't really feel like that's one that you have to deadhead to. Plus, that is all the way at the other end of the park, so you're gonna be wore out by the time you get there. There's two more at Hollywood Studios, because there's not many rides at Hollywood Studios, so you want to pick the one that's going to have the longest line. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway has had a really long line. It's an awesome ride. I highly recommend it, and it's right in the front of the park. So that could very well be one that you could get there as the rope drops for them to open the park, and you could walk right to that ride and hopefully just wait like a few minutes. On to Epcot. Now really, you could either go east or west. You could go left or right. As soon as the rope drops at Epcot, most people either go to Soarin', which is in the Living with the Land area, or Test Track, which is as soon as you walk in the front of the park, you deadhead to your left, and that's where Test Track is. Now, if it's me and Jess, we love Soarin'. We love Test Track too. But I don't want to wait like 2 hours for either ride, so if we had to pick one, it's definitely Soarin'. Soarin' is an amazing ride. Test Track is too, though. If you like race cars and stuff like that, you may want to head to Test Track. both of them have had really long lines as of late. We have been kind of keeping up on the lines. Now it is summertime. We're going in the middle of September. So what we're hoping is that a lot of the kids will be back in school and it may not be as crowded, knock on wood. But those are really the only two at Epcot that I would recommend going to right as the park opens. The nice thing about Epcot is most of the lines are in air conditioning. Most of the rides are inside, and they are really good with air conditioning, so you shouldn't have a problem there if you got to wait in an hour line. Test Track or Soarin' is worth an hour wait. I mean, I would wait up to an hour to ride it. I don't know if I'd wait much longer than that. I'm not too big on waiting more than an hour for anything, unless it's a Mickey pretzel. Okay, so this next piece of advice I'm going to give you is absolutely necessary. If you're going to the parks, if you're going to Magic Kingdom, any of Disney's parks, you still have to have a reservation to get into the park. Just because you get a ticket does not mean that you have a reservation for that day. So you want to make sure that you check the reservations before you buy the ticket. Make sure that there's a reservation open for Animal Kingdom on the day that you want to go. If you buy a ticket for Animal Kingdom and you need to go on Tuesday for Animal Kingdom, you need to check their reservation list to make sure that they're not sold out to the capacity. They're still doing reservations. I don't like the way they do it. I'm really surprised they haven't changed that yet. The way I look at it is if you buy a ticket for a specific day, you should be able to go to the park on that day. Now, I know reservations haven't been as bad as they used to be. Like, some months back, it got pretty ugly there. They were only at a third capacity, and people were buying tickets, and they weren't able to get into the park because they couldn't get a reservation. So you want to make sure that you tie the ticket with the reservation. I can't stress that enough. I've had a few friends, a couple of you guys who've reached out to me that came back and said, "Hey, Dan, well, we got tickets, but we couldn't get into the park on these days." And I tell everybody that you have to get a reservation. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that when you buy a ticket, you have a reservation. That's not true. I meant to bring that up in the last video. If you happen to miss our last tips and tricks video with Disney World and how to get by on a budget, and really we're just kind of talking about everything that me and Jessica do. We budget a lot of different stuff when we go down to Disney World. That's how we're able to do so much. But I'll leave that video in the video description below so you guys can check that out. But I really wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because the whole ticket buying and reservations, man, they need to be a little more clear on that because a lot of people don't know. And, I just want to make sure I bring that to your guys' attention. If you're going to Disney World, you want to make sure that you have your ticket matched up with that reservation. I hope they helped you out. If they did and you're liking what we're doing here, also don't forget to subscribe down below. We're going to be doing this for the next few weeks, right up until me and Jessica leave for Disney World. So the tips for this video, how you can ride your favorite ride, because they're not doing fast passes right now. And, a lot of these rides have been building up, and without having a chance to get a fast pass to ride your favorite ride, I recommend getting there early. Get there a little bit before they open. Just wait in the opening line and go to the ride that you want to ride right as it opens. And you should be able to get on a couple rides because it won't be as massively packed. It gets more and more packed throughout the day. And that's the way to go. And also with the reservations, make sure you have that reservation for the park that you're going to. We're going to be doing these tips and tricks on how you can save at Disney World and how you can make it the most magical vacation of a lifetime for the next few weeks here. So stay tuned. We have a lot more stuff coming up for you guys. We're going to be taking you with us to Disney World when we go. We're going to be filming everything we do. We're going to show you all the little things that we do on how we save money and all that stuff. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one. With all that being said, I am out. And always remember, the adventure is out there.